Really? Because here we go, folks. The battle bus has launched. At the end of this game, we'll be halfway through the action. You think we'll ever be able to explore that mountain out there one day in Fortnite?
I think anything's possible if you dream big enough, Jack. All right?
Why doesn't the mountain have a name?
We'll call it Courage Mountain.
Okay.
Deeming it right now. That's not Epic approved, by the way. Don't actually refer to that anywhere official. Thank you.
Here we
Players
go.
starting to drop out, Jack.
Champ in 72 hours. They're going whaling. You know they are.
Don't blame them. It's one of the best locations right now, early game to drop. The cabins have a number of chests in the attics and down in the basements. You also have the giant bunker underneath where the maze is. It's interesting, too, to me that the surface there, that floor is wood that is painted green. Did you fall for that at first? Be honest with me.
I had no idea. I had to be told by my chat what was going on down there.
Not surprised in the slightest.
I mean, then again, the other memes, I didn't know what to believe because bunker and whaling has been the going meme for 4 seasons now.
Every single time an event happens, guys, the bunker's open, go check it out, and it's not yet.
The bunker is where my hopes and dreams lie.
A couple of these players already picking up big shields there. Vanitize and Windwalker both going to sit at 150 in a moment there. Dementos and Pate, the back-to-back winners, actually with a split drop, which is relatively surprising, at top of the hill and down at the corrupted area. But you know what? If nobody else is around, which they aren't, you might as well. But they're not the only split duo here. We have actually a handful of teams that have landed in relatively separate areas. The play there, Jack, if they know that there's nobody around, they have a chance to build up resource, weaponry way faster than anybody else. Even Tfue and Cloak right here. Cloak building up as he's ramping back up to the bridge there. He's going to go for the glide in to Tfue. Going to grab that slurp up top. And if you're a FaZe supporter here in San Jose, make some noise, please. Oh, yeah, Jack. Round 3 potentially here. Germ and J-Love. Oh, it is Tendons and Punisher, which, by the way, if you recall, Tendons actually won a game of Summer Skirmish solos with a trap. Do you remember that play?
Yes,
it was crazy.
That was actually nuts.
Germ getting the knockdown on Punisher, the pistol, the hand cannon, tack, and green burst here in J-Love's inventory. Not too bad early game.
They have such a health advantage. I mean, already with 177, there's the elimination. And these early game fights, I mean, these guys, they know they're coming to this point. They know what to expect, but it's just got to be so frustrating. Like, most times, these fights, both teams have been either, like, one team is a limb, the other team has one player left, and they just never let themselves be in good spots.
A quick wall replacement into an edit. Tendons down below, just sitting, waiting, biding his time, maybe throwing off. Did they lose track of him? Nope,
No,
looks
not
like
anymore.
J-Love has an idea here, looks through the surface there in the corner, the tack shot. Tendons goes down to his teammate's rocket launcher, actually. You hate to see it, but a good position there for German J-Love.
Oh, wow.
Nick, Aiden already down and eliminated as Nick Merck says, yeah, you guys don't get the finish together either.
Whoa, Superman, or Super Evan,
Very
and Godnick. They get a point on the board, and in Tilted, not a point yet for the score. They need one more limb, but they have won themselves Tilted Towers this game, it appears.
Now, do you consider dropping into the same location, which they lost that 2v2 previously twice in a row? Is that confidence, or is that them just being stubborn?
I'll tell you, you know, game 1, it wasn't that close. Game 2 was absolutely close with Aiden clutching up. Game 3 goes down to 1v1, and oh no, the Clingers drop over peak just like that. Dopeye will be left all by himself.
Does pick up 2 elims of his own. Dopeye looking down another. Maybe he didn't realize there was a gold AR under that ramp back there that he did not pick up.
Nolan just fell to his death. He didn't pop or redeploy on the glider. And that's something that we've actually seen a couple times. It's like, when you're still in those panic moments, you've played a year of Fortnite essentially, where there's no such thing as glider redeploy, where you fall from those builds and you were like, oh, I'm done. There, had the chance to redeploy the glider so that it didn't, you know, die to the extreme fall damage, but actually does wind up dropping to it. Might be a little bit of a panic scenario, nerves getting to him on the main stage, who knows. Swapping on over to Retail Row now as Enigma and Fuzzy are playing from this high ground. Fuzzy actually locks himself there. Does get the shield tag, and that difference in audio tells Fuzzy that this player has no shield left, and that's why he gets so darn aggressive. One more just above. His shield now gone as well. He needs help from Enigma.
A little bit of fall damage there. Fuzzy without a shotgun right now makes it a little tougher to play up close. A lot of players leaning on that shotgun, the amount of damage you can deal just so fast. A quick burst of damage can mean the difference between knocking your opponent, getting knocked yourself, and without one, it's tough to make aggressive pushes. But Enigma, the great tactical shotgun, taking some shots there. 67 shield, gets the elimination on Imperial Howl.
Nice cleanup there, and that's the help they needed. I mentioned Fuzzy was getting weak. Enigma had to step in and soak some shots, and there you go. Good little bait and switch now over to Blind and Hysteria. Early on, they did well back in game number 1 of this grand final. Had more of a quiet game 2.
At this point, they've got to just be trying to root out, and there you go, the angle from the side. Blind, kind of, it's like turning a flashlight on roaches, you know, trying to get them to move around a little bit underneath as Hysteria is waiting from the side to get an angle. And he's got one right there if he could take the shots, and he just barely misses his opportunity to do so. Gonna make a push up to try and stay with Blind. You don't want to be too separate. You might have an angle from underneath, and Blind from above the sandwich here. The rocket, and Blind down to 29 HP might mean the difference between winning this or not. And it looked like Blind in that engagement was getting shot from a third party. They might not be alone yet, and they're not. Blind and Hysteria both very low. They have grenades still coming in. The med kit, hopefully he's got 10 seconds to pop this off in Hysteria.
And this is that feeling that everyone knows when playing Fortnite. You're just almost praying that you can get this med kit off in time, right? He's just sitting there.
Don't push me. Don't push me, please.
That 10 seconds takes forever to go by.
Looks like Rise are potentially going hard right for a flank. We'll have to see how that plays out shortly. But over here, Leaky Lake, Saf, and Ghoul rotating towards Tilted, or potentially just past it. Tilted won't be safe yet. We'll have to see what comes out from that. But this 2v2 Soar, Zextro, and Vinny. A team from Soar we've seen with solid gameplay in the past, the last 2 games. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the same here, but Zextro and Vinny also putting on an excellent show during their heats. Zextro, one of the more aggressive players we've seen, and he's going for it down on bottom. His opponent closing the edit, even though he took a little bit of damage through there, popping snub shield, anything he could do. The slurp ticking there. Devious rotating outside, Frosty stuck in a box underneath too. These angles are gonna be tough, Jack, because up close you have almost barely no time to make shots here, and Zextro pays the price. Devious might tick out to the storm, gets knocked and eliminated. 1v1. The shot 93, the shield, and cannot get the spray.
How weak was he? Yep.
21 left as the storm's ticking.
And look at all this loot Frosty now has. I will say, Frosty, Devious, and there you saw Vinny and Zextro, 4 of the more aggressive players in the lobby trying to hunt down those eliminations. And I think those 2 teams combined probably would have the most elims so far today if you took 2 teams and added them on up of any one of these lobbies.
On the left side of the screen there for a second.
Maybe Tfue and Cloakzy as well.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You saw the just a quick reference on how much material is harvested relative to what he's carrying right now. Full wood, 877 brick, 476 metal. We have not seen this early. 78 players left, and he's sitting on over 2,000 materials, 200 plus builds, a launch pad, 3 clingers. He's got an excellent setup right now. With a tac shotgun too, you don't necessarily need a swap weapon like we've seen with a heavy shotgun or a pump. So he's not missing out there just yet. Now the rift to go there looks like they're gonna bounce on out and try and get away as the storm is 1 minute and 15 from closing. And Germ going for it, potentially leaving Jayla behind, pick up the sniper, dropping that grenade launcher. Bizzle on the feed, securing an elimination on Cease. And I'll be honest with you, Jack, I'm waiting to see 72 Hours and Chap show up, right? Hopefully at some point here. The feed been a little quiet this game. Felix eliminating Dopai with an SMG there. Right now, the most eliminations on any player in this game, too, Jack, is Super Evan, who took out Nick Merckx and Aiden and Tilted. Won that round 3 of that matchup. Saf and Ghoul go for a little pop here and fly across through the corrupted area. He's going to try and grab, the Shadow Cube. We've seen players use this to fly through the air with ease.
Now, I did just receive word from production that player, if you remember from that the Frosty and Devious fight earlier, Frosty was in the zone and spent about 1.5 minutes in the zone healing, looting, and was so deep and now has to go so far that he flew up to the top of the Kevin Island and used the super boost from Kevin to fly all the way to this new zone. Again, a sign of a great player who knows how to use those insane rotations you can get. spent all that time healing, and because he knows that little tactic could wind up getting everything he wanted and then getting to the next zone with more than enough time.
Now that materials used list there on the left side, honestly significantly lower than we've seen a lot of other players, but it might not matter. A Chug Jug to carry.
Do they see it? They have
One,
seen
they
it,
picked
right?
up a campfire as well, some minis.
Low on materials though for Gould. Here's Nibs in Korea again. They're always down towards the side of the map now at Racetrack. It looks like Perfect Tilt and Diggy had him trapped in this back room. He sneaks on into the walls. With no trap to use, Nib goes down.
Pro, the top-down view on pretty much everybody here. Tilt and Diggy taking shots. We saw them yet again. Just a reminder, the Heat 4 Make It Rain bonus. These two took home 40,000. Launchpad just to rotate away. At that point, I think the decision was made that we are in a bad spot.
Yep.
We have to make a move, and Paradise, potentially a good opportunity to do so. They can use these buildings like we've seen players in the past just replace the walls if they need to. Might be exactly what we see happening here. Just going to establish a base.
And the first thing you want to do when you do this is break down any walls that have windows, openings to the outside that can begin to shoot you in the back when you're least expecting. Another replay now from Villix and Jaganza, who took down Dopey. We saw Dopey again earlier on with Overpeak, of how Overpeak dropped. Dopey left by himself. It's always tough when you're in those 1v2s. And yeah, again, you see every wall that gets taken down first is a wall that has some sort of opening to the outside world. But claim that building. Solo and Swag Noodles, love that name, have someone nearby. Seems like they're in a close range flight. I believe this is Hysteria and Blind. Yeah, it is. Hysteria with a knock. Solo all by himself. Make it rain time. Jack. Make it rain time. It's reset back to $10,000, but still a nice chunk of change. We're just getting some limbs during this. Solo has knocked out Blind, and now Hysteria is by himself. As I think he's trying to run away from a third party who wound up running on, and it looks like he's leaving Blind behind. Yeah, yep, it's Nate Hill and Funk Bomb who have 400 combined health versus that health on Hysteria, which will be now 75.
I would absolutely back out as well, Jack.
I mean, that is just tough.
Heavy shotgun there, but...
And look at the inventory for Nate Hill. 6.63 on materials, legendary assault rifle, both with heavy shotguns, legendary compact SMG as well. Here's the Make It Rain bonus right now. 3 teams tied at 1. He blew himself up. That's rough.
The wall bait there to get Hysteria to take himself out. And it looks like that knockdown on Blind, going uncashed in to the team that got the knock, was eliminated, I believe, by these two. Funk Bomb and Nate Hill secured that duo. We have 3 teams with 1 there. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, $10,000. We have 2 teams still in the running right now, still alive. Actually, 2 teams total, based on what I'm seeing. I did not realize Hysteria and Blind being eliminated. They have 3 eliminations. Perfect Tilt and Diggy have 3 eliminations, so those 2 teams pick up a single point, but everybody else that's close is at 2 or less. Team from Ghost, Bizzle, and DMO.
Cloakzy and
Tfue.
Tfue.
2 elims.
They love this zone. They have not moved from where they started at the beginning of this game.
This might be the lowest movement of any team thus far. I mean, they landed that set of houses down there and have moved northeast only slightly.
Yep.
North and Mr. Mowgli very split from each other. Mowgli down below, but at 175. We've got a team stuck probably the highest hill. Top-down view on everybody. Nate and Funk rotating in ever so gently, floating underneath. And
it looks like something happened there with Nate Hill as you see the frustration. We'll have to receive word on what exactly that was, as it definitely didn't look ideal from my perspective, as it seemed like his glider was malfunctioning a little bit, so we'll wait from League Ops on that one. But for now, we'll shift our focus towards Lefty and Jebber here, as they're just kind of gatekeeping as they are right on the edge of this zone. That's a lot of metal being used by those players in the low ground. You can tell just how panicked they are. There's Chapin, 72 hours still in this one. Baldy and Gunfly, as well as Diggy and Perfect Tilt, all inside Paradise.
That's not all there. You see, this is further on the west side, the kind of a wider angle there. You have Margossi and Saint still alive on top of the hotel building. Ziff and Ronaldo here in the very southwest corner of this gas station with their own little base built up and going just for quick edits to take a look through. And typically you'll see teams like this, they'll edit a door and then instantly set it back so there's nothing there, just so they can look through and watch for any teams rotating on the outside, going for a little loot sharing here, some materials back and forth as Ziff goes up to 0.44 in this material stack. Flame with FPS, Ziff Ronaldo, Saf and Ghoul, all three of these teams right next to each other, just kind of waiting on this rotation. 54 seconds left until the next circle starts to move. 2 minutes remaining on the Make It Rain bonus, and no other team has gone past one elimination, which means if there's still a tie, that rolls over to the next game and will be 20,000. You can tell maybe going for an early move here, trying to get into an engagement so they don't get caught rotating, and J-Tfue catches Baldy there, but it looked like Diggy actually got the knockdown, so that's their elimination.
So that means that they've got to be real close, and oh gosh.
Down though, Diggy's got to look out here. 31 HP. He does have a med kit and a campfire. All sorts of HP healing. No shield buffer to build up there as Tilt's going to try and move in with his teammate just to make sure he's safe. Stay inside the same box during like a med kit usage, because the timing, 10 seconds is quite a bit of time, Courage.
Oh, yeah.
And if a team pushes in at that moment, your teammate can protect you just by building up walls or ramps, anything to prevent you from having to cancel that heal.
Make it rain. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. You know that this zone will inch forward. Still 70 players remaining in this game, or 60, sorry. As a Rift to Go's been used. Who was that by? Couldn't even tell.
Potentially Diggy and Perfect Tilt. Now, one team, Ronaldo and Ziff, have 2 elims during this Make It Rain bonus, so we might see them pick up $10,000. Paid.
Oh no. He's got an elim right there. Still 200 HP. Ziff.
And that pair's still alive, by the way, so they're looking for their 3rd win in a row. It would be a Skirmish first if they can pick it up. Ziff by himself now, though, 96 HP.
3 victory royales in a row in this lobby is just, it doesn't matter if you get 0 elims, you're doing something right. Obviously, they've had multiple elims in each game, but still absolutely nuts. As Ziff getting some great shots down range. Currently, they're at 2 elims in this Make It Rain bonus, so if no one else ties it, they'll earn themselves $10,000.
You gotta be smart on this rotation, Ziff. You don't want to put yourself out in an exposed position. Only 40 HP, but it doesn't have the ability to heal at all. He is barely on the edge of the safe zone. The storm might actually stop halfway through the box. We'll have to see here in a second. Flame, the FPS still both intact. Flame, 200 HP.
He's just hanging out. Has a lot of materials, but my goodness, look at this next zone. So south on the map, I think that's where Cloak and Tfue had their old builds. Morgasi and Saint done well so far today. Getting tagged on up. A lot of shields from Saint have been shredded off, and oh my gosh!
Snipe 89 meters from Mr. Mowgli, who we saw down on the south edge, just waiting at the bottom in terms of elevation. Gets a shot. Morgasi, as he's rotating across, looks like Saint might be able to save him. Dementos goes down, which means that might be Peyton. That's Peyton. Dementos eliminated. No 3-peat for that duo. Perfect Tilt picks up a pair of elims, puts him at 4. His teammate Diggy is at 2, which means they're 1 elim away from 3 points. After that, every elimination is an additional point. This could be a big, big bonus game for Perfect Tilt and Diggy.
Diggy and Perfect Tilt building on up, and oh no, you see the shred of those ARs. Turns back around, 1 player just drops to the edge of the zone. 51 players remaining now. They've got to go up the side of this mountain or go around it. And that angle is just so tough. He's building right next to other walls. Enemies could be lurking on the other side of that. Who even knows? Looking for some sort of hip fire as he hasn't gotten it yet. 2 more players nearby, and he gets dropped real quick.
Diggy and Perfect Tilt, I believe that looks like more aggressive gameplay, because they've got to be going for this elimination just to secure that extra point. 45 are left, which means they're well outside.
Are they at 6 elims combined right now?
Yep. Any sort of placement point. They're not close enough right now, which means if they get the elimination, Perfect Tilt gets a knock on Provoked in the feed there, gets the elim. That's number 7, which gives them 3 points from this game. But Tfue and Cloak are there too. They're going to have to look out.
He just wants whatever loot there is here. A great upgrade for both weapons right there. The heavy shotgun in hand, the epic assault rifle in hand. You've got a rocket launcher you can pick up if you'd want to as well. 2 slurps right now for Cloakzy. I mean, you'd expect him to drop 1. No, Tfue's already got 1 ticking, and they have a Rift to go. How?
Absolutely.
How do these guys always have all this?
No idea. I want to point out super quick, Perfect Tilt and Diggy are sitting on 7 eliminations, which means if you see in the feed even a knockdown from Perfect Tilt, every single elimination, if it gets finished, that means another point.
They're going to save the Rift to Go as well.
They're using another team's Rift to Go. The number of players in the air right now.
It's nuts.
Funk Bomb in the feed there.
This is Perfect Tilt. Remember, they are on the verge of big bonus. Every elim he can get right now would be just +1 point for his team, and they know it as well. He's looking to try to drop on down, maybe catch an opponent off guard. Cloakzy landing down on one Perfect Tilt for now, just staying alive. He's built his little 1x1 box. I believe Chap just got eliminated from this game. Not sure if 72 Hours is still alive. Balla drops as well. Perfect Tilt waiting for the opening. He's going to push on out, getting up towards this high ground, getting into the zone. He'll live to see another day. Oh my gosh.
Smack dab in the middle of the group here. This Storm smearing players off at the bottom. I expect the Storm to claim a number of players in just a moment here. And there it is. Look at the feed. Bumpa, DK, Vape Jesus, Left Eye, Windwalker, Wilds, J-Truth. Everybody Storm going down here to the Storm. One of the roughest zones we've seen so far in the fall skirmish. And Perfect Tilt is still in it with maybe 5 HP tops.
It's these mountains, man. I'm telling you, can Perfect Tilt get this elimination? Nothing as of yet.
Just one.
He's doing everything he can.
7 HP.
No healing. What a hero he would be for his team if he can at least get one here. As he's waiting, one behind him. No.
Funk Bomb. 3 points is still fantastic for that duo.
100%. Bizzle's in a nice little spot to potentially shoot down on, or above onto opponents when they aren't expecting it. Not a lot of materials, though. Big thing to take note of. Go Sean, knocks out Jaganza. Nice little pump shot right there. One player nearby, that's Sketch from Envy, who gets cut on down. You know he's going to drop to the zone. Tfue and Cloakzy still alive. Tfue still has a slurp to use. Hasn't had a chance to use it yet. And now he's down to the low ground. This could be the end of the game for Tfue. Cloakzy's still a lot more healthy. There you go, slurp now being popped. We'll slowly begin to tick that health back up.
At this point, every bit of healing could change the game for that duo.
The consistency of Tfue and Cloakzy,
it's impressive.
It's now 3 straight games in the top 10.
Still with an excellent kit, a ton of ammunition for everything. 10 rockets, 110 shotgun shells they'll never use, and there's one coming out, tries to get that, but it looks like Goshan actually picks that.
Goshan's down 5 elims himself, and look at 3 players in the high ground.
Flamed FPS all up top. Cloakzy, the shotgun on Goshan there. Picks up his 3rd elim. That's 6 total, like you said.
So
2 more. 1 more puts him at 7.
It's those 2 on the low ground, and the rest are all going to float down from above. They've got to move with this zone. And now they've got to, trade back with rockets of their own.
The zone's starting to close here. Jacket's going to come down to potentially heal off 2 teams above. 6 players remaining. Cloak and Tfue. Tfue with no shield, 75 HP. Cloak, 100. He's in an excellent spot. Everything's reloaded. They're building up. They're basically establishing every single square on the bottom.
They've got a campfire and a med kit. They're trying to play around a potential low ground.
Funk Bomb gets a med kit off there.
Funk Bomb's
pushing in.
Funk Bomb's is trying to heal. Flame's got everything.
Gets the knock.
But Flame's got everything you ever need too. Cloakzy's trying to shoot down this top side so they can't heal. Can they do it? There's just 3 players left. They're dropping him on down. Will they be able to out-survive this zone? They're floating. Tfue's now knocked. He can't use his heals. Cloakzy ticking on down. Just 20 health remaining. Gets 1. Who wound up winning it? Cloakzy's down on the low ground as well, I believe. They got it. They did.
1. Are you kidding me? The last second push out into the Storm may have changed that game from a 3rd or 2nd to a 1st place for Victor Royale. $50,000 for the gentleman from FaZe, Jack.
Cloakzy can do no wrong today. Cloakzy can do no wrong.
We got to look
at this
again.
Here it is from his perspective. Yeah, we cut away at an awkward time, but this hip fire right there, Funk Bomb drops to the